up, everybody? Welcome to the next episode of Devin the Bear. Today we're joined by Brett Kelley, MMA fighter who's moved here recently from Louisiana, and he's going to be fighting pretty soon. You're going to start to see his face, you're going to start to see his name, so get used to it. This is Brett Kelley.
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
Good, sir. How are you doing today?
Good, man. Glad to be on. Thank y'all for having me.
For sure, man. We've been looking forward to it. We actually have, I think since you and Zach had first communicated, he was like, we got to have this guy on, man. He's got a personality. Like, he's a good fighter as well. You know, there's a lot of hype behind him and shit. So we're very excited to have you on. So thank you for making the time to come out to us and shit. So
Pleasure, man.
It was weird to watch a smoker and have someone have so much hype behind them and a smoker. It was weird, and I was like, okay, I gotta look into this guy's fight and like see what that's about, because there were a lot of people watching that, and they were all in the chat like saying, let's go Brett, let's go Brett.
I gotta give a shout out to my old team there in Excelsior Jiu-Jitsu in Zachary, Louisiana. A lot of my friends and a lot of the teammates that supported me after I moved up here, and they so I got to give them credit for that. Like I was surprised by that, how many people took the time out of their afternoon, because the fights are long. You don't know when the person's gonna be fighting, so you're sitting there watching for a while. I was really touched. I was really appreciative of that. Like, that was cool to see how many people supported, and we're just getting started, so that's awesome.
hell yeah. So to kind of reel back, I guess, and learn a little more about you. So where did this passion for MMA start, and where did your background start essentially?
I've always really liked fighting and stuff like that. Like, I just even back when I was a kid, watching getting Rocky as a kid for Christmas and different things. Like, I always thought that was the coolest thing. Like, you could be that tough guy, I guess, thing is and I always thought that it was the most fun. Like, you get to work out, you get to train, be in awesome shape and compete, different things. And I always thought it was cool. Like, I wrestled a lot and at home friends, different things. Did boxing and stuff. Really at redneck backyard things a lot growing up. Wasn't that good. Was just getting just pushing. But it was always something, because in Livingston, Louisiana, that wasn't still to the day. That's not a sport that you could really do too much out there. They don't have a wrestling team. Right. They have a karate school that was very kid based, getting started back then. So there wasn't a whole lot of opportunities for that back then. So it was just something I didn't get a chance to do until I was older. I was 20, 21 years old before I was able to really get into jiu-jitsu. And I did some boxing with a coach when I was younger, but it was really a passion for it. And I got in trouble fighting in school a lot, but other than that, it was a passion for it that was always there, that I finally, when I got older, that I was able to get the outlet and really put the work in and have fun with it.
Yeah, there you go. I thought you had a question.
No.
So yeah. So kind of leading off of that though. So I guess your background. I guess you were kind of you started out in boxing, and then you kind of gravitated toward jiu-jitsu. So and Louisiana is a very jiu-jitsu heavy state. There's Tim Crater, the first Louisianan black belt right there. And so with your move to Texas, how did that come about?
I was working construction, doing electrical work for the last 5 or 6 years, and I was really burnt out at what I was doing, and they just the job I was happening, there were contracts were getting switched over between companies where I was working. So it was at the time where it was a good time to make a move, and I was young and I was kind of frustrated of just where I was getting, just coming home dirty, filthy, felt like I was getting taken advantage of at work, as far as not get taken advantage of, but I was working super hard and just every day, and I wasn't getting what I wanted out of life, basically. I was so tired that I wasn't being able to train as much anymore, different things like that. I was working all the time, wasn't really happy with it, so started just applying different jobs, and really just took a big huge leap and jumped out here. And Houston, I've always loved Texas, and I have a family in Conroe and things like that, so it was a huge jump for me. I'd be alone, I'd be by myself, I could really put my things to the test, but I still would be close enough. I have a cousin I could call, hang out with, different things. So I'd have something even my aunt and uncle, I could go hang out with them, talk to them if I need them or whatever. But it was a huge jump, and I looked at some of the gyms out here, and they have some killer gyms, man. Just even looking on paper, man, they had the fighters that are from out here, Alex Moreno, so many other people.
Right.
And I went out here for a week, checked out the West Chase gym, the Gracie Baja West Chase. seen guys like Pedro Moreno, Bruno, Henrique, guys over there, man, and just like I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. Like I love the city feel. It's not like a New York type city, like real
Right.
tight. It's like spread out. It's where it doesn't feel like you're living in a big city as much.
Yeah.
It feels more kind of country city feeling. So I like that, and just packed up and moved.
Yeah, that's cool though. So we talked a little bit. We lucky enough to hang out with you with some time for some time, before we had started recording, and you're training with our boy Oliver Jimenez too. So that's pretty freaking cool though. That it's just like small world that you end up meeting that guy. He's a cool ass dude, man. We like him a lot, and we always hope the best for that dude. And so, but you also moved to Texas at such a good time. At the same time, when it comes to MMA, because so many prominent gyms are coming up. I mean, we have still Metro Fight Club is still doing incredible things. Heritage Muay Thai's on the come up. Midtown MMA. Some gyms that we talked about. And Gracie Baja, West Chase is a very prominent jiu-jitsu gym out there in Houston as well as Gracie Baja Woodlands. And so, knowing that you have so many great gyms at your disposal, like how much has that really helped you evolve your game and say, I want to go train over here today, or I want to kind of check out these gyms?
It's definitely been a lot, and Gracie Baja Katie as well. I've been going over there recently as well, and those guys are just monsters, man.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's definitely helped my game as much, but a lot of those days you're just going over there and like you're just like the fish in the pond of sharks, man, because there's like so many monsters over, and it's great. That's what you need. Like that's how you get the experience. Those hard work rolls, like where you every roll is like you're working. Like there you don't get no lazy rolls. You don't get to take no rolls off where you know what this guy's gonna do. It's like it's like it's competition. Like it's like you're going and they're there to help you. They're not trying to hurt you, but they're there to push you, and that's what they do. And like I got to get a lot like more looks with guys my size and things like that, and guys that are just like more MMA based and things like that. So it was like really got to help me like see where I needed to improve, like where I was strong, but also where I needed to really focus on and really work on. So that's really helped, and just getting all the different looks from different coaches at the different gyms is always great for me. So it's been that I always appreciate about coming out here and seeing that.
For sure.
Was that something that was hard, finding people your size, like flyweights in Louisiana?
Yeah, it definitely was. My weight definitely. There were some guys that I could train with out there that were great, but then it got to where you're training with the same people all the time, and then their move, and like you already know what they want to do, and like how the roll's gonna go, even like where they're strong at, where you're strong at, what works for you, so you come into a pattern of like doing the same thing, and you're still getting great work, and it's still pushing, but like. You don't. It's hard to like. You're not getting like looks at heel hooks if a guy never goes for heel hooks. If guy never attack legs and he's just pressuring you all the time, you don't ever get to work with like the defensive guy who's gonna sweep you. So it was just like very. And they have some great guys in Louisiana, but they eat a lot, so they're a lot bigger than me.
There's a lot of flyweights around Houston. There's a lot of flyweights. There's a lot of bantamweights.
Yeah.
There's just a ton of
We see like an abundance of it because we went to the inferior amateur fights even then, dude. There is so many bantamweights on that freaking card.
You can make a whole card of bantamweights.
It's I couldn't believe it when I first got out here, like how many just like good guys there were just my size. I was just like, yeah, this is where I need to be.
It's fitting, yeah, for sure. So I know we talked a little bit about when you're trying to plan out your next fight and stuff like that. And we talked a little bit also about how Tim Crater reached out to you and stuff, and so so with that card, so I know that it was a significant card for you to get onto, right?
Yeah,
I'm on to try.
Definitely. BFC. I've been to several of their events, watching my old teammates over there compete, like Braxton King, guys like that. But I've always wanted to be on their card. They run a very professional card. They have good matchups and things like that. It's very prominent in Louisiana. So like it was good. It was felt good to have him reach out to me and things like that. And we're gonna get it going. We're gonna definitely get one going in the next few months. I'm looking at hopefully the Denim Show. Maybe they got the show in June, I believe it is. I don't really know the date of it, but it's in Denim Springs, and that's like 15 minutes from where I grew up. So I'd love to go out there and put on a show there for Tim Crater and BFC.
Yeah, for sure. For full circle at that point, also.
Absolutely.
It's like you started out there, then you went. You did what you had to do to improve your skills, and coming back to let everybody know how much you've improved. So that would definitely be super cool to see you on that card.
Absolutely.
So,
is there anywhere like here in Houston? Is there anywhere that you wanna like Like you want to go fight there. Like you want to fight. With Fury. Fury goes. Have you gone to a lot of the events here?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been to a few Fury events now. I think I've been to 3 now, and they're great, man. They're like superly good competitive matchups. I love the fight for Fury. I definitely think after I get that first one in BFC, I think definitely the next one will be here in Houston. I definitely especially since I'm staying out here now, I'd want to keep them close to home so I could have coaches and stuff and be able to go easier and things like that. So teammates as well help be able to be there and support. So yeah, I definitely would love to fight for Fury, and we've reached out and different things like that. So we'll definitely get that going as well.
Yeah. There's also Legacy. I don't know if you know much about Legacy. Legacy's
Yeah.
not as prominent as it was.
Right.
But that was originally, that was one of the leading MMA organizations in Houston. So that one's still around, right? They still
Legacy's,
have events.
LFA. Yeah, they're still
They
doing
still have
stuff.
events. I know there's a couple others, and I just can't think of them.
They're I'm kind of going blank on them as well.
But yeah, there's kind of a lot of options, and it's pretty cool. Is there anybody like around here that are pros, like you're hoping one day can come around to fight them?
I don't know. I mean, well, that's one thing
Not in like a disrespectful way.
Yeah.
Just, there's a lot of really fun fighters.
Oh yeah, there's I imagine myself against a lot of those guys and just how I would try to match up with them and different things like that. But yeah, definitely there's I mean, even guys like Oliver, man, I would love to be able to get my skills up to where I could take on a guy like Oliver, and like I said, Oliver's one of the best, nicest people ever, and training with him, I had no idea how good he was. I just by meeting him and going with him, because his ego and his attitude was such a humble demeanor. I had no idea who he was, and he wasn't going hard or anything like that with just training drilling. I had no idea how good he actually was, and then just going to see his Muay Thai clips and his fights and things like that. The dude's freaking a savage.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to get my skills up to where I could challenge somebody his caliber and things like that. So, and that's definitely the plan and the intention. So,
yeah, I think there's a potential for a lot of really exciting matchups that you could have in Fury, because there's a lot of young guys who are just starting their amateur career in flyweight. A lot of them are really fun, so that's kind of something I'm actually excited about.
Yeah,
and actually, I think
flyweight.
a lot of what flyweight needs right now are good jiu-jitsu guys. Actually,
Yeah.
At least I feel that way.
Yeah.
But I probably always feel that way because I like jiu-jitsu. But a lot of the flyweights that we're seeing right now have really good stand-up or really good wrestling, and I think as far as the amateur series. So I think seeing a really good jiu-jitsu guy would actually be pretty refreshing.
Yeah. So without giving away too much of how you fight, and so where do you like the fight to go? Kind of, where are you most comfortable? No, I wouldn't say most comfortable, but where is it you prefer to be?
Well, I'm comfortable fighting off my back foot, but obviously being shorter, different things like that, you gotta be comfortable putting the pressure on. So
Right.
Obviously going forward and obviously getting the takedown, different things like that, and putting them up against the fence. Even if you're just making a box in a phone booth, and making it a tight fight where you either that or just moving around, getting your angles, different things. But I like to make it a close close thing combat, just. Especially get control of them. Control is huge, so it's having control of somebody. That's one of my things. I really like to pressure and have control. So it's always fun. It's a different thing to see how it goes. It's easier than some people than others. Some people they're refused to back up, and some people they're comfortable backing up, and then you can make them back up. And other people you just have to adjust and you have to realize they're not gonna back up. You're gonna have to fight them off your back foot and realize it that way. So. I like to go forward and put the pressure on, but I'm comfortable backing up as well.
That's something that we talked about as well, because I'm shorter, so we would flow spar a little bit, and he would tell me you got to push a little bit, man, because he's I have 10 inches of reach on you, and stuff, and so it's I think it's always interesting though to see, because you see shorter fighters, and you expect them just to have to push the whole time, and so instead of but when they get pressured, they don't really know what to do, they get confused. And stuff because they're used to having to either go for a takedown or fight in a phone booth and stuff like that. So being well rounded in all aspects is super important especially when you give up so much size going in there, because like we talk about, like there's flyweights we've seen that are like 5'9", 5'10", and it's like, bro, eat a fucking sandwich. Like, but it's like, man, but like it's like, dude, like your division's like 10 pounds above this, so you know. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it's all jokes, but like. It's just, yeah, like you said, you know, just being able to be comfortable with whatever's going to come your way. Because there's guys I've seen, you know, like there's this one pro fighter that I'm not sure if he still fights. His name is Ryan Hollis. He's from Houston as well. The dude was like 6'1", dude, fighting at 125.
It's
and
nuts.
Like, yeah, I'm
it's
like,
crazy.
How the fuck do you make
That's
that
why,
weight
like,
class,
fighting at 135, like, you go look at some guys like Corey Sandhagen at 135, and, like, it's nuts, man. Like, and, like, it's just crazy. Just think about how big those guys can be, how much reach they can have at that weight.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that they're comfortable cutting that much weight to have that. That's them. It's on them. You just got to learn to take it away from them. So.
Did you ever watch Rick's story?
Mm-hmm.
He fought a lot of, like how you were describing, a smaller guy who can press forward and get good combinations off. I loved watching him fight.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate where his career went, and it was because of Cowboy. But he was so fun to watch. Though.
I heard people hated sparring him.
Yeah, because he doesn't hold back.
He doesn't give a fuck. Like if you're going in there, it's a fight every time. Like y'all fighting for a fucking check every time you go in there, even if it's sparring and shit. He would just go all out.
Sounds like David O'Neal, my old teammate. That's how it sounds like.
Yeah, you still keep up with him?
Oh, he actually just come down for my birthday this past weekend, and
Oh yeah, y'all have the same birthday.
What the fuck? That's cool.
Dang,
bro. Hell yeah.
Totally forgot about that.
That's cool as shit.
Happy
How old
birthday.
are you?
I'm
to
26.
26.
Yeah.
I'm 25.
25. Okay, cool. Hell
Awesome, man.
That's fucking small world, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
meant to say that.
Damn.
Sorry, Devin.
It's all
I
good.
forgot. You told me, but I forgot about it.
Still a pleasant surprise for me. I was like, that's fucking nice.
That's awesome, man.
What you doing for your birthday?
We went to the Galleria, went bought some new shoes.
I actually noticed that shit. Hell yeah.
Yep.
Clean.
Different things like that. Went out to eat. My buddy he moved to Orlando at the same time I moved up here to Houston. So like, and he went focused more on a different job career. Like he's gotten more out of training. So like he gained a bunch of weight. So he come back. We went and trained and went and trained Saturday morning. And after we went and trained, he went back to the house and he just passed out on the couch for like 7 hours and was just out.
Back to sleep.
Yeah, like he was out, man. Yeah. Like. But it was a lot of fun getting to see him, getting to chill with him, and the train. And like I said, he wanted canes. He hadn't had canes since he moved out to Orlando. Yeah. Apparently, they don't have that out there. So he come out. We went to Canes, went to a few different places, and
Is it bad to say I don't like canes?
Canes is one of those things that I like canes, but like I don't like canes as much as everybody else likes canes. So
I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
It's not too bad. I remember I used to always want to go there. I'm like, bro, I live right by Chick-fil-A. We can just go Chick-fil-A.
Bro, my dad's crazy. Like when Canes was sponsoring Les Miles, y'all know who Les Miles, the LSU old football coach. Yeah. He was sponsoring Les Miles. My dad hated Les Miles so much. We were working across like this little highway from Canes, and it was lunchtime. He got his food, but from somewhere else, and like Taco Bell or something. We were sitting back, and I was like, I want to get some Canes. He's like, I ain't driving you over there. Them Les Miles supporting motherfuckers. And I'm like, come on, man, it's right there. He's like, you can run across that highway. And I was like, all right. He's like, you gonna do it? And I'm like, so I got out, ran across, got my Canes, ran back, ate my food. And I mentioned it to him all the time. I was like, dude, I could have got hit by that car. He'd been like, that'll teach you.
Shit, you watch that shit with Kevin Hart when he almost drowned. He talked about when he was a kid and his dad didn't jump in and save him and shit. And then he said on the way home, his dad was like, could have lost you today. And he's like, what the fuck? That's all you're going to say and shit. But was the Canes at least worth the fucking dodging cars on the freeway?
Oh, yeah. At the time it was because I was coming up. I didn't get Canes all the time. So I was fresh out of high school at the time. So I hardly got Canes, so that was like a treat. I was working and making money. I was able to buy stuff that I wanted. So like that was one of the first times I was able to buy stuff with my own money like that.
You like the coleslaw?
No. I'm not a big coleslaw person.
Yeah,
I love coleslaw.
I love coleslaw.
It's got to be in gumbo if I'm gonna eat it.
I've never heard of that ever, but I fuck with gumbo heavy. My friend's dad, man, like they're all. I forgot what part of Louisiana they're from, so like he spent a lot of time over there when he was a kid. So like when they cook stuff at the house, it's always gumbo or fucking.
I'm thinking potato salad, not coleslaw.
Oh,
and gumbo.
Okay, that's what it is.
Yep.
Yeah, so potato salad sandwich is good too. Fuck with that.
I'm careful with potato salad. People put weird stuff in potato salad sometimes.
I don't know. We put normal shit in there. I've seen people put raisins in that shit.
Yeah, don't put raisins or grapes.
I'll
Grapes and chicken salad.
Kick your ass out the kitchen.
Hey, well, not too much on grapes and chicken salad. I fuck heavy with that shit, bro.
No,
I love that
weird.
shit, man. And so with you staying busy training and stuff, are you also working on the side as well?
Yeah, actually, when I changed careers when I come up here, I was doing electrical work, and I come up here, and I've been doing a personal training and boxing and kickboxing coach at Title Boxing in Missouri City.
Damn, that's fucking cool.
Yep. So just working as a big change, trying to get more personal training going like that, and just be a little more like flexible, just happier, not stress free, not free, but less stress life, and just focus more on training.
And so has being a coach and I guess being a personal trainer, I guess is, has that kind of helped you kind of sharpen your tools as well?
It definitely, like, when you show somebody like some of the basics, because like a lot of like when you show somebody something like as that you're starting from the basics. A lot of people, they don't know anything about like what you're trying to show them, so you gotta like really get the details and slow so you got to really think about the details of how to explain it to somebody that never done it, because when you do it like me, like, or like when someone who does it a lot, like it's like almost second nature. You know it's here, then it's here, then it's here.
Yeah.
But like they don't know that, so like you have to how to explain them how to go from here, then why it's here. So it definitely made me understand and look into more why things are like what steps are steps, and so it definitely made me better, sharper on the basics for sure.
Right. So how did that come about though, getting that personal trainer job?
I applied for several different things when I came out here, and I was selling ADT for a while, and it was fine. I liked it. It was all right, but I got the opportunity. I applied for Title, and they got some great people up there at Title, Missouri City, that run that gym and stuff like that. So I was able to get in touch with them, and opportunities just worked out to where I started off. It was going to be like a part-time thing, but it ended up becoming a full-time thing like pretty quickly, to where like the job I was working just didn't really like work out where I wanted it to. So like just made it full-time switch. And I mean, it's come with its difficulties. I mean, it's definitely not the same. I mean, it took me time to build up clientele, things like that, and get used to the difference in money, income, whatever. But and just like learn how to promote myself for like boot camps and like packages and things like training sessions and stuff like that. So it was a growth. It was definitely a growth for sure.
Yeah, I got a good friend of mine that's trying to get into the combat sports, strength and conditioning, stuff like that, because he's just a personal trainer right about 10 minutes up the road and shit like that. And he's like, so he started taking boxing because he was like, I want to be able to understand each muscle group that goes into this shit.
Yeah.
And so just big steps like that, you know. So
I applied one time to a Taekwondo gym, and I interviewed with them. I never thought I would be happy to not get a job at a gym, but the stuff that they taught there was absurd.
I understand. I heard, because there was other places, I won't name anything, but I heard, and I was just like,
nah, bro, fuck him, name him. No, I'm just kidding.
oh man, like it was just like, it's terrible, unrealistic, like just terrible, like it's like almost like cheerleading kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So it was like, nah, man, it's but I mean, and also like gotta understand where you're at. Like if you like a place, like it's if it's a fitness gym, like then that's what it is. They're trying to be, and which I understand from a business point. I mean, there's money to be made off of that, but like if you're looking for seriousness, that's not where it's at. So
yeah.
So, you excited for the fights this weekend?
Oh man, I can't wait. They got some really good ones on this card. Cerrone, man, I can't wait for that one. That one I'm really pumped up for. And I haven't been pumped up for a Cerrone fight like this in a while. And I love Cerrone, but like this is finally, it might be his last one, and he's done so much, man. It's I can't wait to see it.
He's one of those guys I'm surprised he never won a title, you know? It's like he was just like he's been at the top for so long, but anytime he ever got the chance to fight for it or get close to it, he would just come up so short. Yeah. You know? And Joe Lozon's a fucking he's an animal, dude.
Yeah,
you know?
I love Joe Lozon. I got on Joe Lozon because of him and his brother, their jiu-jitsu, and just the stories they had about how they used to beat the crap out of each other.
They fought at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And shit. They beat the shit out of each other.
That's my kind of story right there.
Fucking fighting at Thanksgiving.
Straight up.
Like
my kind of story.
I loved watching him, and then Cowboy. Like everybody loves Cowboy, so I'm really excited for that fight. I expect it to be fight of the night.
Yeah.
I imagine that we're gonna probably see a lot of stand up. So I think it could probably lean towards Cowboy early on.
Right.
And the longer the fight goes on, I could see Lozon taking it.
That's a weird thing, though, is because, like, Lozon fought Grutzmacher, right? Grutzmacher put him on the whole fight, and he just never had any type of footing in that fight at all. Like, the doctor didn't even stop the fight because how bad he was getting beaten up and shit. And so you got, but they're both slow starters at the same time. They both don't go out there and get it because they have a similar opponent in Anthony Pettis. And Anthony Pettis beat them both within like the first 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And shit. So that's an interesting fight. Me and Zach were talking about it like last week, was it? And like I was in the kitchen and he was sitting on the couch and he's like, dude, I was like, man, for the fucking three last fights are the ones I'm most interested in. I don't know about the other ones. And then he was like, Cerrone versus Lozon. I was like, I don't know, man. And he's like, that's gonna be fight of the night. I was like, that's not getting fight of the night. This man got up and started fucking yelling at me. He was like, what are you talking about?
It's going to be fight of the night. I definitely wouldn't put it past it. I definitely think it's going to get a bonus. Fight of the night with Chandler on there.
That's the only other one I could see being fight of the night, just because Ferguson does not go away.
No.
And Ferguson's like back against the wall right now.
Yeah.
Like
he
got to come out, and it's hard to see him like fall that far. Like, but Chandler's a savage, man.
Yeah.
Like that dude's a tank.
I think he earned a lot of respect from that last fight with Justin Gaethje too, because a lot of people were looking past him and shit. But the thing about Michael Chandler, though, if you watch him in Bellator at all, like it's moments like these where he fucks up. Like, and it's not like it's not really that he fucks up, but like luck just doesn't work in his favor. Like he had that one fight with what's that, Mike Primus. He's supposed to blow through that dude, and he happened to kick him in the calf, and his leg went dead on him the whole fight. Fight got stopped. Where his fights with Will Brooks, he was supposed to go out there and do that shit. Or when he fought Patricio Pitbull, same shit. He's supposed to go out there and win that fight, and then. Even in the UFC, I love Michael Chandler though. I think he's a phenomenal fighter, but
I think he wins this one.
I hope he wins it.
I
think he beats him not easily, but like I think he'll control it like pretty well. Like especially if he looks as flat as if Tony looks as flat as he's been looking like that, because like he's looked pretty flat, but. Hopefully that I mean it'll be at least a great fight, because I don't want to see Tony go out like that the Tyron Woodley way.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like, dude. I'm like, fuck, man. But that's what was I gonna ask you? I don't remember. There's another fight between that one, the fourth fight on the card?
There's
Rose
the two
Namajunas.
title fights, Rose Namajunas and Carlos Esparza, and then the main event. But there's OSP and Shogun.
Oh yeah.
And I'm assuming that one's at heavyweight. I'm pretty excited for that one too, because I think OSP is a lot more entertaining at heavyweight than he was at light heavyweight.
I think they said that might be Shogun's last fight.
I wouldn't be surprised. And
I mean, it's about time.
I love Shogun. I would love for him to retire on a win. I don't think he beats OSP. No. OSP is a freak athlete.
Yeah.
I think he dominates that fight.
That dude, and that's what sucks about Shogun is because, he got into the UFC and he was a fucking killer. Just was probably light heavyweight champ, and then gets into the UFC, becomes UFC light heavyweight champ, but then that's when he won that belt. It was like he was leaving his prime after that, and then it was like just, it was against John Jones. Like you can't blame that dude for not beating John Jones, but it was like just a downhill form from there and shit, and still fucking dangerous. He beat Tyson Pedro, and Pedro was on the come up and shit, but like you said, OSP's a fucking different animal though, dude.
Look what Jones did to Glover Teixeira when they fought years ago, and then Glover's still there.
He's a champion.
Yeah, the champion taking guys out. So don't count Shogun out. He might pull a Glover on us.
Yeah,
I'd love it to pull a Glover, but I thought that OSP had a good response when they asked him what he thought about being Old Boy's last opponent. He's like, "Well, that sucks for him."
Yeah,
like sucks for him, not me.
Yeah, it's like shit, man. But yeah, Shogun's been through the fucking ringer though, and so but OSP though too, because. I mean, he was at the top of the division whenever Jones and Cormier were going at it, and so it's like
been around for a while.
Yeah, he's been around for a while, but you just couldn't catch the break. Like if those two guys weren't around, you probably would have been a world champ,
Yeah.
And
again, I think a lot of that is from his athleticism.
Yeah.
He was in football, right? He was a college football player. Yeah, and then he came to MMA because it's better.
Yeah.
That's right. Except for the pay, it's better.
Oh yeah,
it's better in every way, but the pay.
So my thing is always like when you're talking about like what the ultimate sport is when you're playing football or basketball or something, and someone's getting on your nerves. What do? You end up fighting because that's how you see who's better.
That's what it all comes down to. That was the first sport, man. Fighting.
And Esparza and Namajunas is an interesting one too, though, because Esparza's finally like for the past couple of years, she's finally been able to move away from just being a wrestler.
Yeah, I was about to say her stand up lately has been impressing me.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of gonna play a big part in this fight. Is she going to try and use her better stand up against Rose's stand up, or is she gonna push her up against the cage and win her fights the way she always does?
I think she's gonna try to win how she always does, though. Honestly,
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's the smartest one. Rose will knock her the fuck out.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for her to not do that. Like if she tries to stand with Rose, that's gonna be tough.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a tall order there. Unless she could get some takedowns and have that threat of the takedown.
Yeah,
and slip something up high. But
I would like to see Rose get another knockout win.
I'm going for Rose. I always go with Rose, man. I picked Zhang the first fight, and then after that I was just like, man, after how slick that
bro,
rule,
that was perfect.
Man, that was so good. I was just like, all right, Rose, got you. I got you.
The way she was going low, went up high, and just like slapped her with her foot. I was like, holy shit, dude.
The way she bit on it with that sliding her feet back and just was leaning forward for perfect for the shot was just amazing. I ain't never seen anything quite like it.
Potatoes right to the ground and shit. I was like, god damn.
Yeah, that was nice.
I was going fucking crazy. We were watching that fight. I couldn't believe it.
That was a sick ass card, man.
Yeah, it was.
I can't remember who else was on that card.
That was the same card.
It was Usman and Masvidal, right?
Yeah.
Too?
Yeah. And who else was it? It was Gaethje was on that card too, wasn't he?
I don't know if I think that was the one where Chris Weidman broke his leg.
Yeah, Chris Weidman broke his leg. Yeah. I thought was that Gaethje Chandler?
No, that was in November.
No, November.
Yeah, that was Covington too.
Covington and Usman too, yeah.
And so, but yeah, no, that shit, dude. That card was fucking crazy.
Yeah,
though.
that was.
And then you had
you had two leg injuries on that one. Anthony Smith and Jimmy Crute.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nuts, bro. That was nuts.
Okay. Yeah, I felt pretty bad for Weidman. The first thing that happened in that fight was he got his leg broke.
Yeah. And I really feel like he needs to call it a career though. Like I don't know. I'm a big fan of Weidman.
He's got a fight set up, right?
I hope to God he doesn't.
I think he does. Okay. Or they're working on something.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It was his neck, now it's his legs.
He's been talking a lot more, so I don't know if he's coming back or not. But I hope he doesn't, because that was just.
I love Chris Weidman, but I want to see him take an easy fight and win, and then retire on a win. Just be like, yeah, I still got it.
I don't think he'll be satisfied with that though.
No,
he's such a competitor.
I think he just needs to hang it up, man. But he's lost a lot in the last few years, and I mean,
and it's bad when he loses.
He's been a champion, and I mean, he beat Silva. He's done enough. Like
you ever see that scar on his throat and shit from his neck surgery?
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah, and he's still doing that shit. I'm like, god damn, dude.
He's a savage though, man.
Yeah.
That's something he's been a champion, and something no one will be able to take away from him.
Yeah, for sure. But that main event.
Yeah. The main event, Charles Oliveira and Justin Gaethje.
That's the fight there.
Yeah.
That's hard. It's hard for me to pick a fight winner on that one, but I'm going with Oliveira.
Yeah, that's the smart bet, honestly.
I gotta go with all. As much as I love Gaethje.
Yeah, I think Oliveira is if Oliveira wins, it's a submission in the third round, and I think if Gaethje wins, it's a knockout in the first or second. But Oliveira said he's going to knock out Gaethje, and I was like, I don't know if you can do that. I don't want to doubt you. Like, I think we're all pretty much done doubting Charles Oliveira, but knocking out Gaethje,
it's a tall order there. But
yeah,
but Oliveira's striking is like he has great jiu-jitsu, but he also has great Muay Thai. Like his striking is the way he I've hardly seen MMA guys at that level. Like you throw teeps the way he does. Like I believe he has the best teep I've seen in MMA. Like it's super tight. The way he brings his knees up, the Muay Thai style of defending, blocking outside, like it's crazy. Especially if he has his eyesight problems, the way he says he does, like that makes it even more impressive.
Yeah, dude, no shit. Like he says that he sees three people when he fights.
Says I'm going for the one in the middle.
Like smart man, dude. But that's what I noticed it when we were watching his fight with Poirier, and he was just teeping at Poirier's body a lot. And I'm just thinking in my head, and I told Zach, I was like, I don't think Poirier's gonna take it, dude. Like I want him to take it so fucking bad, but it was just like but he wants to. If he wants to knock out Gaethje, like he needs to go into like the third or fourth round, and that's kind of a tall order, like you said, because with Justin Gaethje is just like going 3 rounds straight with him, because that dude goes to war every single time. It's like you got to be able to eat that shit.
And he doesn't really slow down if you match his pace.
Yeah.
you know, you're going to be going the same speed, if not slower.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to let him try to run himself out, but he doesn't do that.
And
Yeah, he could go at that pace all day. That pace where he just steps up, throws a punch, steps up, and throws a shot.
I saw that he said that if Charles wants to win, he's gonna have to walk through hell like Khabib did. And Nate Diaz said, "He's like, dude, you got fucking triangled from Mount and shit."
Like what kind of that Khabib, man, that was an impressive one there. The way he shut down Gaethje like that. Like,
Yeah.
I watched that fight multiple times because of that shit. Because Justin had a crazy pace to start, and then you see Khabib be like, okay, and then matched it, and then went like 10 levels above it. I'm like, what the fuck?
that was
man?
impressive for
It's like
sure.
Dragon Ball Z stuff.
Yeah.
Yep, he leveled up, man.
Shit, dude. But yeah, I don't know. Like I want to see Gaethje take it though, because I feel like if he knows he doesn't get this title shot, because he already said he doesn't want to fight forever.
Oh yeah,
And so-
he's on the back end. Like
Yeah.
he done said it that like he ain't gonna be here much longer. So
Yeah, just fuck the division up a little bit. You
yeah,
know?
go ahead and take the title and let's see, fight Islam or something.
Yeah.
Gosh, that would be a fun fight. And he'd be getting revenge on Khabib.
Dude, that would probably make Khabib want to come back.
You think so? If he knocked out
That might be the
Islam?
only thing that gets Khabib to come back. If somebody beats up Islam, that might be the only thing.
They have to beat the shit out of Islam.
Yeah,
for talking shit
If he
to him,
wrestles
you know?
down Islam and then knocks him out with ground and pound, I think that'd be pretty embarrassing because that's their brand.
Yeah.
And if you go there and do it to him, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
Khabib would come back.
I really don't care for Islam too much though. But
His skill is pretty like incredible, but
He's
like
fucking, yeah.
his personality's dry, and it's I mean, he just kind of got pushed. One of those guys. I mean, he
Yeah.
got pushed like early. Like he got the push. He's got the momentum. So we'll see. We'll see.
He wouldn't stop beating people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he beat Hooker. That was his biggest win. Like Hooker just kind of had really a shitty situation. No real camp. Come off.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't really getting to train wrestling before that. So I mean, but what you've seen, I mean, he's like, it was like him and Chimaev. They were looked like the two freaking Terminators from Russia or whatever coming out of there. They both looked
Yeah.
amazing, but it's one of those things. He doesn't quite have that personality Chimaev has that puts him over.
yeah, and that's what. But like when we were talking about Oliveira, one of the things that threw me off about him is like, so I didn't know this, but he trains at shoot box, and they still spar hard. Like it's like they were known for that shit, and they talked about that. And Trevor Whitman, they had asked him, he's like, I have a lot of respect for shootbox over in Brazil because that's where like Vanderlei Silva became champion there, Shogun Rua, and all them. But and Thomas Almeida trains there as well. But we saw Thomas Almeida after he got knocked out, is like his career just kind of went down right there. It's just like his chin wasn't holding up, you know. And so with Charles, like he gets clipped pretty. He always gets clipped in the first round.
Yep.
And with Justin Gaethje, you get clipped by that guy. Like that's gonna be a
hard.
big problem. You know?
Yep.
I can't believe Michael Chandler survived it, and it's because of his wrestling.
Yeah.
He went for that leg the second he felt it.
Well, what's funny though is I didn't know this, but Michael Chandler talked about that fight recently. He said, "Yeah, the goal was to try to wrestle with Gaethje."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he said I was gonna try to wrestle with him. I couldn't get him down and shit. It was just crazy because he was saying like, what's that? Because he was like talking all this shit, saying he was gonna stand with him and shit. And he did, but when he said that, he was like, I was trying to wrestle with him. He's like, that was the game plan. I'm like, what the fuck? And so smart though, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just jiu-jitsu's different. You don't really attack head on like
Yeah.
that. You clinch up and you go for trips a lot, and Oliveira at least does, and he's
Yeah.
really good at it.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't get the trip, he takes your back while you're standing.
Yeah.
And I don't think Gaethje backs up the way Oliveira's going to want him to
Yeah.
for that situation to happen. So I think Gaethje gets the knockout in the first round.
I would like to see that, but I'd be okay
I
with
hate to
Arlo.
say it.
I would.
It's possible. Very
But
possible.
yeah, I think that's what's going to happen.
I would really like to see Oliveira though, like become the like defend it the most though. The lightweight title's never been defended more than 3 times, and so if he could defend it 4 times, it'd be like, damn, like that really is the greatest lightweight right there.
That'd be crazy.
That's a
Yeah.
that's a tall order right there in
Yeah,
that
the
division.
lightweight division is huge.
It's fucking scary, man.
And then you have all these new people coming up.
Yeah.
And if he has to defend it more than 3 times, he's going to have to go
Dude,
against some of those guys, too.
Ilya Taporia just went up to lightweight, and that dude's a fucking animal, man.
Imagine if Volkanovski goes up and
Yeah.
challenges.
Oh, yeah.
Volkanovski's a stud too, man.
Yeah.
Like he's a guy that can actually fight at lightweight because he's got the power. Like Max he just hasn't got the size for that
Yeah.
power. His style just doesn't quite work for that division. They need to go at that depth. But
Which sucks too, because that means he's gonna have to stay at featherweight, and I don't know if he's gonna be able to keep making that cut these next couple of
Yeah.
years. You know, because it's
yeah,
getting
it's
worse
gonna-
and
It's
worse.
gonna get tough. Yeah, that's a tough one. But hey, man, he's got a hell of a legacy.
Yeah.
Dude's done some work.
Are there some fighters that you kind of like aspire to fight like, or take like inspiration from?
I mean, Demetrius Johnson would be like the ultimate like one. Like if you could be like if I could be like any flyweight, Demetrius would be the one. Like he's I mean the dude's incredible. Like he's I mean Brandon Moreno though, like he's another one. Like his boxing is like incredible. Like I watched a lot of those guys. What really sucks is because like TJ Dillashaw, man, I used to love like his style of fighting and like his things like that, and then like he got caught in all that cheating and stuff, and I hate cheating, so like that immediately like took him off the board for me, and like I just. But like his skill set and his technique wise, like throughout his career, I really like admired a lot of that.
Yeah.
And like try to watch and understand and break downs. I mean, so guys like that. Dominic Cruz, man, I always wish I could move like Dominic Cruz.
That
but
fucking figure eight.
But it's just that's just
how
tough.
I got my nose broken.
Yep.
Trying to move like Dominic Cruz.
Yep, but yeah, those guys there, especially Demetrius. Demetrius would be like one of the main ones. Like that guy was so nice everywhere, so fluent with his things. I mean, obviously, guys like Cejudo, like that are just like I would never be a great wrestler like that. I didn't have the pedigree of wrestling like he did.
Yeah.
But like his style of wrestling is incredible. Like Peter Yan. Peter Yan's another one.
You kind of look like Peter Yan, actually.
That's what they told me at Midtown MMA when I was training over there. Yeah. When I had my beard shorter and stuff, they said that but
you should have just went in there and like spoke no English and just used like Russian words and shit just to fuck with them.
Once they whoop my ass, I'm like, nah, this fucking dude, man, this dude ain't him.
Switch up on it. You should do that shit too.
This
like,
fucking Wish Peter Yan version, motherfucker.
Next time you go to a gym to go check it out and shit, and if like something happens, it doesn't like and you didn't have a good time or nothing, just like speaking a Russian accent the whole time. And it's like, if it goes good, just just talk how you normally talk and shit. Be like, nah, I'm just fucking with you, man. I'm from Louisiana.
Nah, man, it's great, but yeah, those guys, man, those would be the guys. Like, but there's so many, man, like so many guys like that are just high level that's just fun to watch. I mean, it's even like guys that are right here, like lower level guys that ain't made it yet, just watching them, it's just like, man, that's wow. Like, it's awesome.
Have you watched any of Jacob Silva's fights?
Yes.
Really like watching Jacob Silva fight. That dude can do it all, and it's always like fast paced. It's always really fun. Did you see his last fight?
When was that one?
Was that 2 weeks ago?
Like a couple weeks ago. It was the same when Oliver fought.
Yeah.
He got caught by the head kick. It was that same style of head kick that rose through against Weili Zhang. But before that fight was really exciting. They were going back and forth. They were going at it.
Cleveland McQueen brought that shit, man.
Yeah, there were some really great sweeps in that fight.
Yeah.
There was a lot of really good stuff. I was pretty happy with.
That's why no matter what, we always tune in to watch Jacob Silva's fights just because like that dude is so well versed everywhere.
Did you see not that fight, but the fight before where he had like a triangle, went for a Kimura, Americana, all at the same time. It was freaking nuts.
Dude had a mounted triangle and put the dude in an Americana at the same time. Shit, it was just like what the fuck? Because the fight before we were at that fight as well, and he had lost by decision, and it was just the guy was just like take him down. The guy was Randy Villarreal. He's a very strong flyweight, but he would take him down and they wouldn't really do anything with it, And Jacob you could tell he was freaking frustrated with it and shit. And then eventually when they so the next fight, you could tell that he was like proving a point that it's like, nah, I can do shit on the ground too, and he fucking put that guy into a pretzel, dude.
I had him in a triangle while getting a Kimura.
Yeah.
Ow.
That guy's jiu-jitsu is insane.
Ow.
That dude, fucking man. But he's a really cool guy too, man. We would talk to him when we see him at the fights and shit as well. And so another fighter that fought for fear that we mentioned before, CJ Vergara. So him and Jacob had a fight a couple years ago. He made it into the UFC, and he's also like he fought in the Contender Series, and he fucking went out there, dude, like in like 40 seconds, neither dude in the body, like quick, and like he's probably like 5'6", and he's a stocky ass dude, and I think we both watched that fight, right?
Yeah.
And he walked out there and just like ran right through this dude, and so he's another flyweight to keep an out. Like he trains in San Antonio with Pete Spratt.
Nice.
Shit. So
nice.
He's got some really good Muay Thai.
Yeah, I think we'll call it here. We've talked about the fights. We've talked about you. Is there anything else you want to throw out there?
Nope. I appreciate y'all having me on, man. It's been a great time, dude.
Do you have any social media you want people to follow you on?
Yeah. Make sure I don't say the wrong tag.
Also, if you want to shout out your personal training stuff over at Title Boxing.
Yeah. Any businesses that you want to promote of your own? Any gyms that you want to thank or just shout out? Any fighters? Anything? Go for it.
For sure. Instagram is Brett Kelley, Kelley 97. That's my Instagram. As far as shout outs go, definitely the guys at the Gracie Bajas, West Chase, and Katie's, and just helping me get ready and everything like that, and train and just beating up on me and helping me get better. The guys and girls down in Excelsior Jiu-Jitsu and Denham and Zachary, Louisiana. Those guys there, Professor Nathan Lott. I would never been in this if it wasn't for him. He's one of the first guy who actually taught me and showed me a lot of things, gave me and promoted me to blue belt, things like that. Like really like gave me the confidence that I could really do something with this. I could really go out there and try it. And guys like that, man. Even David O'Neal, man. As much as a fat bastard he's become, bro. Like he's always been a big supporter of me. Brandon Soche, just a lot of those guys, man. Until as far as the personal training, if you're anywhere around the Missouri City area, hit up Title Boxing and ask for Coach B, and we'll get some work going. Well, I appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on.
Thank y'all.